it's Selima with Selene Moon Goddess Tarot here. I decided to do just a collective love reading and see what comes out instead of my standard piles that I usually do. Mostly because my kids are at home and I have to have eyes behind my head and so being up in my little closet room isn't, and having the luxury of time is not something I have. So we'll see. If it calls to you, great. If it doesn't, well, then it's just not your reading, and then there's plenty of other readings that I have on my channel. And I'm going to use, I really like this tarot deck, but I suck at pronouncing it. Enchanted Forhasia. And of course it's backwards, right? Anyway, MJ Cullihan is the one who is the author of that one. So anyway, sorry, I'm using my table and my laptop, and so it's a little shaky. So if it bothers you, just minimize me and use me like a little podcast or something like that. You might hear my kids coming in and out. Drink some water. Like so. But we're going to get started, okay? So let's just see what comes out for the collective here in this connection. Nothing. Let's try it again. Somebody doesn't want to talk. Someone's being silent. That is weird. Usually they just shoot right on out. So let's give it a good shuffle. Give it some love. What is your person? What's going on in this connection with your person for whoever this reading is for? Well, that makes sense. We have the Hermit and we have the Knight of Water. So, the Hermit talks a lot about, can you see that? Let's see. There's a little bit of a glare. Oh, my camera sucks, guys. I'm sorry. But anyway, it's, you're basically taking time out alone, but it's more like you've been through a lot of shit. You're not new to going through hard times, okay? Your person has been through a lot and they're purposefully going away to seek more enlightenment about this connection and about this situation. With the Knight of Water, it is this kind of air of like, maybe they're considering, should they come forward? Should they offer their cup of love to you? But I do sense hesitation because, when we're talking about knights and pages, it really just depends about the cards that are around. So let's get some more information here. Let's get a couple more cards. All right, so we got like 3 cards. Another knight. So we have the Knight of Air. I don't know if you can see that one. There you go. You can see that. All right. So it's, the Knight of Air is interesting because it is, air has to do with swords, which is intelligence, truth, knowledge, understanding, ideas, epiphanies. But with the knight, because it's not a king, it is definitely kind of like that childlike honesty, like, hey, son, does this shirt look good on me? Oh, mom, you look a little fat, or you look like a clown. Like how kids are just very honest. And so it is kind of like wanting to come forward with that very almost innocent feeling of love, right? With the Knight of Water, but then also with some maybe some harsh truth or some real honest, concrete truth about this connection. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles, I wish this was more clear. Well, we're just testing this out. Anyway, the Eight of Earth, it is kind of like doing all of the work. Like you've done planted all the seeds, you've done everything you're supposed to do. You've irrigated your land, you've done all that, and now you've got this great crop, and you've got a couple more things before you're ready to go and get your harvest. So sometimes it can err on the side of being like a workaholic. Depends on stuff, but it does seem with these three cards ahead of it that the work that's what your person's working on. So if they're not communicating or they've held back in some kind of way, it's because they're working on themselves. They're working on really framing this connection and looking closely at the connection in order to be as successful as possible. I don't think they're communicating with you. I mean, we all know that communication is a thing in love that is really odd because some people feel, that they're just not comfortable sharing their feelings. But it's kind of required. And, you can't really have a connection if there's no communication. So I hope they have at least, given that this is the Hermit and not like the Hangman, which is a little bit more of a younger energy. Hopefully they're wise enough with the Hermit energy to at least let you know that they were taking some time out to think about the connection. So let's get some more information. What else is going on? Well, let's clarify the Hermit and clarify the Hermit, please. So we have the Moon. So they're not communicating. So they're not sharing. They're not fucking sharing. They're doing a lot of reflecting. They're reflecting on this connection like we talked about. Maybe in relation to themselves and you. Maybe there might be some fears about like maybe you're not the kind of person that they usually go for. Maybe they're concerned about what other people think about the connection. Because I feel the duality of them not just reflecting on you, but also reflecting on themselves and this connection. I wonder if they've done something, like to damage this connection. We will be getting message cards too. So I don't remember if I messaged that. Sorry, I had to pause. My son was calling me. Okay, so going back to the reflection, like they're not with the Moon, the Moon can also talk about like illusions, right? Like not seeing things clearly, feeling like they might be missing something. Sometimes like when you look out in the Moon's light, things can look a certain way. So I think there might be maybe it's just like, it feels like, can this really be true? Are you really, like, you might be a dream come true for them. Or something that they didn't expect. See, and we got the Ace of Air. That is an epiphany. Aces are, for me, an epiphany in whatever suit they're in. So when we're talking about swords, like I said, intellect, ideas, epiphany. So this despite how unsettling it could be that they're not communicating, they are learning. They are realizing a lot of shit. So it's not in vain what they're doing. But it has taken a lot of time with the Temperance card. And the Temperance card is interesting because I've always looked at it as a card of, I remember there was a stretch in when I was learning tarot that I was getting the Temperance card like for months in my readings. And I was so goddamn tired of it. I was like, I'm done being patient. Thank you very much, universe. I've had enough, appreciate you, but I'm beyond whatever learning I'm supposed to, like whatever lesson you think I need to learn here. I I'm over it. It's kind of like really persevering in, embracing the sucky part of learning. You know, and unfortunately, pain is part of that. Pain, you can't really move forward without pain. It brings healing, it brings growth, it brings the epiphanies that we need in order to move forward. If not, we can stay stagnant. Now, some people choose to stay stagnant, but your person definitely doesn't. They are really, really wanting, oops, I dropped this. They're really, really wanting, growth in this connection. I don't think they want to let you go. See, they're working. Again, you got the Three of Pentacles. So this might be a connection, excuse me, it might be a connection that's tied to work. But it also might be a connection that they have this, carry this desire to show it off. Or it's almost like it makes me feel like, when you, let's say you have something, let's say somebody does something out of the ordinary for you, and you sit there and reflect. Like, let's say you needed some bus fare, and so you're just hoofing it, and then you wished or asked the universe, please, oh God, I wish I could have like find $1 so I can, get on a bus because it's so hot today, blah, blah, blah. And then that dollar appears. Like, you kind of want to go tell other people, like, check this out, like, I was hot. I asked God for, or the higher power, whatever, for $1, and sure as shit, the dollar was there in the sidewalk in front of me, a few blocks down. And so when you want to tell us something good like that, you think, because some people are not religious, some people will think you're crazy. We all have different tiers, I should say, of friendships, ones that wouldn't judge us and some that would totally judge us, So I think maybe your person is also thinking about, like, who can I bounce this off of? Like, because this is fucking amazing. It's a positive card. I mean, it's not a negative card, for sure. So I definitely think this, for whoever the collective, this is a pile of or a reading of someone who is not communicating, doing some learning. They're doing introspective assessing, counting the cost, trying to figure out what the best decision is. And I really wish they were using more of their emotions and if they are of the masculine variety, they tend not to they want to use logic. And with love, it's just plain not logical. It can keep you in a cycle that just doesn't let you out, like a hamster wheel of just trying to get some kind of answer or confirmation when it's really your heart that is running the show there, to be honest, So I got the Empress card. And the Empress card is beautiful because she embodies all four queens. So she is completely, she is mature, she is powerful, she is sensual, she's a creator, she is a mother, or someone who is a mentor for those that are around her. She brings growth wherever she goes. And she has a temperament of patience and empathy. And your person absolutely adores you. They are in love with you. They feel like, and maybe that's why all this pondering, like, am I good enough? Am I good enough for this person, for the collective? I don't know if I'm good enough, because this is like, we didn't get any queens here. We're starting at the Empress, right? So they love you. I mean, they adore you. And maybe that they've allowed that to be stifle them, and they are shooting themselves in the foot by overthinking this and not really letting go and communicating and trusting that maybe the reason why it may seem too good to be true is because it's absolutely what they've always wanted and have asked for. Oh, well, yeah. They're not okay. So we have the 7 of Swords. Okay, these are all kind of. I'm just going to give up showing you the cards, but they're beautiful cards. They're very earthy. But the 7 of Swords, it is a card that, in an elementary way, talks about just not being honest, just or hiding truths, keeping truths away from people that you don't trust, or sneaking truths past somebody, white lies, not being completely honest about whatever situation is at hand. And being that this is type of, sort of like a love reading, I think, and this card came out with the 6 of Earth. And so the 6 of Earth it's a beautiful card about being benevolent. Maybe it is like this kind of like they're hiding from you that they really do see you in their future. They see you as somebody that is a solid, like a real solid partner, not somebody that you're just going to have a fling with, not somebody that is just going to be there for a time in your life, but somebody that they feel like, you know what, I could build. I could build with the collective. I could build with this person. This is where I want to put all of my effort, is with this person. But they're keeping their cards, no pun intended, close to their chest. They're not sharing that with you. So what the fuck? Let's talk about what the fuck. Let's get some because I already want to know what the fuck. Like, I'm already tired. Okay? So let's just see what is coming next in this connection. What is their next move? What is their next move? Okay, we got 2 there. Okay, so their next move definitely is, well, first of all, if work, or there has been other things that have been, not only them, thinking about this connection and getting their shit straight, but if there's been work or other things, or maybe even, and I'm saying this, like, if I say this, it's because you already know that this is the case. It's not something, that's going to be a surprise that you're finding out in this damn random, tarot reading. But like, maybe there's another connection they're in that they want to let go of in order to move forward, or there's the job that they're in, or just certain responsibilities have been holding them back. They're going to let those loose. Okay. With the 9 of Earth, it is just about being so, usually it's depicted with a woman who does not need anything. Like, she is independent financially. She is gorgeous. She is dating. She's free to date. She's single. Or she's dating and not tied down, with anyone. So they're going to free themselves from whatever is holding them back from this connection, whether it be, a stagnant connection that they've been trying to let go of, or maybe changing their schedule around so they're more free to be able to spend time with you. And then we have the 4 of Wands. I mean, like, the 4 of Wands is the big marriage card. It doesn't mean that, marriage has its own I should say, what's the word? I was going to say stagnant. That's not what I meant. But marriage has its own stigma. That's what I'm trying to say. Really, especially in the more recent years, I think. But what it really represents is the combining of 2 parts, right, to make something completely different. So like that's why it's the marriage card, like 2 families coming together. Sometimes it's the soulmate card. They say like, oh, well, it's the 4 of Wands. It's 11-11. 11-11 can mean twin flames. And then, the whole thing about twin flames is a whole nother, topic. But I think soul connection for sure is something that they see with you. Like, they see this as, they're going to be coming towards you, and they're actively working on like solidifying this connection. Like they want to free themselves up so that they can make a move towards you. And they're going to want to share it with everyone. They want to share it with everyone. They really believe that, like, because the Three of Cups is, it can be it can be one of those cards about sometimes a third party situation. If polyamory is something that you practice, and this is an additional kind of connection, or you would be an addition to whatever they have going on, this would be a confirmation that they feel like it would be a great fit, that they feel like this is actually a very unique connection and that it would benefit. It's for the highest good of everyone. Like, no, we can't lose kind of thing, right? And it can also mean that a blending of families, like, so if you have kids, they have kids, or they have someone in their life that really means a lot to them. Like, let's say they have their parents still alive, or they have grandparents, or anything that it would mean a lot to them that they meet you. That is something that they plan. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry that I hope they start communicating soon. So that leads us into the message cards, okay? And I usually use those green cards if you watch my channel. So we're going to use some of the ones that let's start with the ones that I didn't make. Let's do that. The Love Oracle, okay? Twin Flame? No, they're just love. The Love Oracle. I think they make one that is similar that is called Twin Flame. But all right, so what does collective's person want to say to them? I want you to, look at how it's backwards. I gotta fix that. Anyway, I want you to enjoy your life. So maybe they feel like they've added some sadness to your life because they haven't been more clear about what's going on. I have never met someone like you. Because remember in the beginning I was saying, like, they were like a little shocked, a little like, for real? Like, this person for real? Like, I think they do doubt whether they're good enough. The thought of you makes me smile inside. That's sweet. Yeah, you float their boat for sure. Definitely float their boat. You fill me up with happiness. I wish things were different. So yeah, there is some forces against this connection. Okay. And I see you in myself. So that's just kind of, for me, when I see that card, it reminds me of definitely like soulmate, twin flame. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to say twin flame anymore. I think I'm just going to stick with just, soulmate. Like, these are two souls that have at some point in time in the reincarnation decided to come back and meet because there's some unfinished business, some learning that needs to be done. And we don't just get one soulmate. We get many. We get more than one. And so it seems more realistic, I think, anyway. Okay. Well, this is a little spicy. Okay, tangled between your legs. All right. So I don't know. Maybe obviously you guys had some contact. Aw. See, maybe that's why this card came out. Like, I want you to enjoy your life. I don't think they're saying, go be warm and well fed. No, I think that it says, I feel you leaving me. So I was thinking that when I was, doing the initial part of the reading is like, one thing that when you're using logic for connection that you don't consider until maybe perhaps it's too late is that you are taking up time, somebody else's time. And while you're trying to figure things out, if you're not communicating that, then that person can just you don't have to stay in this connection, right? I mean, you guys You'd be like, they're taking too much time and I don't got time for that. I only want people who are going to be present and active in my life, not whatever this person's doing. Ooh, remember the seven of swords? It says, let's meet somewhere in secret. So maybe there is a third party. I don't know. We'll see. This is for the collective. There's a lot of different scenarios here. I look for you everywhere because I feel your presence. That's been coming out lately. You blow my mind. See, they're in love with you. They're in love with you. They just have to figure shit out. I mean, and honestly, you continue to love yourself through this. Don't hold out hope and get obsessed about the communication. Sit back and see what you need to be learning about this. Like, what is this teaching you? I want to feel that way again. All right. So that definitely tells me that there is a pause. There was a start, then a pause, and we're in the pause, right? But they want to start things back up with you again. They're going to be coming towards you. Let's get a couple more, and then we'll end it. It's a quickie, but it's kind of like a test run also. And put in the comments what you think. Because I can, it's only but maybe I can do readings like this for the summer, right? Since I have the kids. Anyway, can I be the big spoon? Aww. Camping, rain, our bodies twisted in lust. I don't know what I was thinking of when I wrote that card, but it wasn't PG-13, I think. I look for you everywhere. That's the second card. That sounds like that. Because it says, I look for you everywhere and I feel your presence. And they just are always, you're always on their mind. You're always on their mind. They're doing a lot of thinking, but they're also transforming and they're growing. So I hope this reading was pleasant. And even if it didn't really resonate, thank you for coming by and watching. And if you like this style, just put it in the comments. I'm still going to be doing my other kind of regular where I'm just showing my hands. But yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you guys enjoy this and I wish you the best. Please continue to love yourself. Please continue to be creative. Care for yourself. Don't get obsessed with tarot readings. I love that you come by, but also, give some love into yourself. All right. Till next time.